Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to Chaos and Order, art by Susan Holt. That is me. Today is July 16th, 2025. It is a Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday Live. I'm just popping on a little bit early so I can get my tech up and running. There we go. Let me make sure I can open this and see myself and hear myself. I can. Fantastic. Okay, tech is all set up. I'll be able to see comments and questions. I have Miss Molly with me tonight. There she is. She's a good girl. Yes, you're a good girl. So my backup studio dog is here with me. And I've already been working on some stuff today. So before I get to that, I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping. Excuse me. If you're watching here on Facebook, please hit those like buttons, the little heart buttons, give me all the comments, give me all the questions. I appreciate it. If you are watching in replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay down in the comments for me. That way I know you stopped by. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. All right. So today I have been working on some new little things, and I have an idea. I had an idea. Oh, I see April's here. Hey, April. I had an idea, so I'm kind of following it through. I don't quite know how these are going to turn out, but whenever my husband and I have a dog in the house, he gets up earlier than I do normally, and I kind of stay up later than he does naturally. So if one of us feeds the pets, then we used to have this little round, it was just oh heck, what do you call that stuff? It wasn't mat board, it was like might have been mat board, might have been extra mat board, but it had, I put an AM on one side and a PM on the other side. It was round and had two colors on it, and it got so trashed by the time Belle finally passed, but it did get us through like 4 dogs. maybe three dogs. So I've decided that I'm going to take the paint skins that I usually use for my jewelry and coasters and that kind of thing, and just make some of those AM PM markers so that we both know that the dog has been fed or not. So here's a little paint skin, and this is just the stuff that comes up off the plastic after I make a painting. So I keep those. And like I said, I make jewelry with them. I've made some coasters, and I make some other little things. But I have been getting these smoothies from a company that it's a bunch of fruit in a cup basically, but I don't have to measure it or anything. Oh, Faye is here. Hey Faye. So I have all of these little lids, and I was thinking, you know, what can I do with these? How can I repurpose them? How can I reuse them? And I decided that I can use them as the containers for the paint for these AM, PM signs. And I also realized that if I don't tailor these to just, you know, the pet has been fed or not fed, and I just put an AM or a PM on it, then people can actually use them for different things, like maybe taking their own meds, or, you know, you have something that you have to do every morning and every evening. So I've been trying to make them with like a dark side and a light side, and I just like the Force. And I figured that the light side would be for mornings and the dark side would be for evenings. So instead of flipping it front to back, which is also a possibility, if this says AM on it and you are feeding the dog at PM like we do, we'll just flip it over and it says PM on the top the right way. Well, it will say that as soon as I get it painted on there. But these are still pretty wet, and I'm trying just regular school glue to put these skins on here, the paint skins on here, but I'm noticing that I need to kind of push out the air bubbles. So that's what you're going to watch me do tonight. So let me get this pointed down towards my work table. There we go. There we go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I've got a paper towel here because this is where you are supposed to put the straw in. It's got this little crisscross cut on it. So I've just been pushing the air bubbles kind of back up that direction. As you can see on this one, or at least I think you can see on this one, there's still a bit of wet glue. So just set these over to the side. This one has green and is glittery, black and green and glittery, and it's gold, and it's so pretty, so pretty. But yeah, I've got a bunch of these that I was working on today, and I've been using my bottles of paint that have kind of larger bottoms on them to hold this down while the glue does its thing. But now I'm also noticing that I need to, like I said, get all these little air bubbles out, and I will do the AM PM markings on these after the glue is completely dry, so I don't, smush it out of the side or anything. And that'll make it so I can put resin over the top of it. So it'll be sealed in nicely. It'll be all one piece. This one is the first one I chose to do, and it actually has a piece of art paper underneath the skin, but I didn't think it was necessary after I started really getting into making these. So I kind of figured out it would adhere better to the plastic and the glue without the paper. So this is the only one that has that. Faye says, like dishwasher cleaner dirty sign. Yes, exactly that. Only artsy and super pretty. And it's not, I could make some that say clean or dirty. I don't have magnets for these, but I do have Velcro. So I have little Velcro squares from other projects that I have done in the past. I'll just put one of those in the middle on the back, get all the excess glue cleaned up after it's dried. Some of it has spilled out on some of these. And then I'll get to have a lot of fun. And like I said, I just started doing these today. I expected to do something completely different with you tonight on the live, but with the air bubbles in here that I need to get out, they're kind of time sensitive. So this is not going to be the most exciting thing on the planet today, but the artists got to do what we got to do when our art supplies and our pieces tell us that the time is right to do it. I think this one's just so cute. It's like a little, when a wave hits the beach and it hits a rock and the spray comes up, I think that's what that looks like. Now, what do you guys think it looks like? That's just my take on it. Faye says that these are way prettier than the dishwasher signs. Even dirty dishes can be artful. Absolutely. Thank you for the idea. This is why I need my friends, is because you guys see things that in my art that I don't necessarily think of by myself. And I appreciate all your feedback and your ideas that help me be a better creator. Faye says, you mean unhinged things out loud. Well, this wasn't very unhinged, was it? This was hinged. There's a nice hinge to it. Oh. I was gonna segue into my next thought with speaking of unhinged, but you know, I don't think I'll do that. I don't know as I'll say that thought out loud either. Probably not the smartest thing for me to say at the moment. But I have decided that because there are some things that are happening locally in the US that are making me a little bit grumpy and frustrated, as I'm sure they are making you grumpy and frustrated as well, that I am taking the time to do some of the things that I want to do, that I really love to do. I used to have this rule for myself that I would not eat at the same restaurant like 2 days in a row. Not anymore. Oh no, 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 no. Because I need some joy in my life. And honestly, if going to the same restaurant twice in a row is what's going to make me happy because that food is really delicious, and with all the stuff going on, especially with it being not hamburgers and hot dogs, shall we say, and not knowing if they're going to be able to stay here or not, I'm going to support the restaurants I like as I can. And if that means I want the same thing 2 days in a row, then I'm going to go have the same thing 2 days in a row. Also going to eat the darn cookie. Not the fortune cookie, though. I don't like fortune cookies. My husband can have all the fortune cookies. But, yeah. Faye says, nah, what? No, it's all fine. And she also agrees dessert first. I'll let everybody else read the rest of her comment there. But yeah. I'm feeling some sort of way. So, you know, I also started following a K-pop band that I really like, kind of more closely, because I like their music. So I know I'm not completely, totally teenage fangirl. You know, I'm a 54-year-old fan woman, but I like their music. So I'm going to make sure that I follow what they're doing and keep up on new stuff and just enjoy enjoy the access to their music while I still can. And another thing I've been doing is I generally don't like to watch things more than once. I'm not... I like new input. I like new things. Oh, that Faye says she has a silk veil in the same vein as the purple lid. Not this one. This one is green and purple. The one before is kind of fuchsias and purple. It's very pretty. And, okay, so I have decided that I'm going to rewatch things if I want to rewatch them. Because why the heck not? Why the heck not? I've rewatched one of the K-dramas that I really like, which is on Netflix. It's called Mr. Queen. It's the first one we saw, and it hooked me on K-dramas. And now that I understand a little bit more about the language and the culture and the references, I appreciate it on a whole new level. And I loved it before, but now I'm like, oh yeah, that one. It's probably the best K-drama I've ever seen. I really like it. And then K-pop Demon Hunters, the animated movie that came out recently. I've already watched it 4 times. Yes, I did. And I listened to the K-pop Demon Hunters station on one of the apps, the music apps, because it just makes me happy. It makes my brain freak out less and gives me those little bumps of happy cortisol, not cortisol. What's the other one? The happy one. The one that makes you happy. Anyhow. Oi. Oh. I think I know why I'm feeling a little flakier than usual tonight. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. Shame on me. Oh well. Oh well. I think. So I'm gonna just do one of these real quick for you, and I need to decide if I'm going to use this side of the skin, the paint skin, or this side of the paint skin. Don't know. Let me see what it looks like on the camera. So I'm looking at the computer, seeing which side I like better. I think this side. Yeah. I'm just getting the paper towel, the rest of the paper towel off. I did put this on while the skin was still a little tacky, and so the paper towel stuck to it. So I'm going to just use my template. And I'm drawing on what's going to be the back side. So even if I leave some of that black line on there, it's not going to show through. Faces the white and red swirl side is too pretty. This one, yeah, that's what I'm going for. That's the side I'm going for. That was a text coming through. If you heard that buzz. I'm just gonna ignore it till I'm done with this tonight. Been getting a lot of texts lately since Molly is here with me. My backup studio dog. It's always nice to have her here. Unless you're my cat, and then she's like, no thanks. And this is just watered down everyday school glue. I'm trying this first before I try the more toxic adhesive that I have. Just because I can. And because this is going to be encased in resin, I do want this to kind of stick on here on its own so that it doesn't come off of the back. Sometimes these get air bubbles underneath them and they can come up and kind of float a little bit, but I don't want that, so I'll do my best to make sure that it does not do that. That's what it's gonna be like on that one. Yeah. Put it over there with a bottle of paint on it, let it set up, and then we'll go from there. But I don't have any specific font that I'm going to use on the AM PM part of it. I might just leave them as is and then see if somebody wants something specific on a specific one, or maybe I'll do like one that has, oh no, that one. I'll do one that has AM, PM, and one that has clean, dirty, you know. Faces, would brushing the glue on before putting down the fabric alleviate the bubbling? Well, this is not fabric, it's just paint. It's just dried acrylic paint. So it might alleviate some of it, but it might not. And the amount of glue I'm using, I don't think is, I don't think it's enough to need to be brushed on first. Just going through the rest of these to see if I have any that are the right size to go inside this. A lot of the pieces of these paint skins are small enough that they're not going to, or narrow enough that they're not going to fill that area. So I'm just making sure, move this over, see if you can see these. If I find one, I'll walk you through the cutting and the marking and all this stuff. But I have my, just have my template here, and if I do this, I can definitely see even through the paper towel that it's not going to be wide enough to fill one. And I do want to do some that have two different paint skins on them. So Faye's comment is I could make some that say pants or no pants. I absolutely could do that. Do you need a pants, no pants one, my friend? Maybe I'll do that pretty little fuchsia one for pants and no pants for you. I am in charge of and will be selling at an art fair up at the Arizona Artists Guild in November, and I want to have kind of some fun little unusual things to go along with some of the art that I've made. I'll have my jewelry out there. I'll have some smaller paintings, and I'll have some of these. These are super helpful. They're super helpful to my husband and I, so if I think they're helpful to us, then they're probably helpful to someone else as well. Ooh. So again, this is the side that's going to go face down. And this one's going to have a tiny little notch out of it over here, but it's such a small little notch, I don't really care. And it's a kind of a dark hunter green on a dark background, so oh no, this is going to be the other side. Okay, well, it might show a little bit, not a whole lot. Oh, that's fine, that's fine. Doesn't need to be 100% perfect, and it is what it is, because I myself am not 100% perfect. I think I might be 50% perfect. Tops. Absolute tops. This is one of the things, you know, coming up with new ideas is one of the things that makes me happy. And since I'm using my joy as a survival tactic and a kind of a, you don't get to say if I'm upset or not. Resistance movement. Then, you know, it's all good. It's all meant in the best way. I think that's one of the things that we artists do with our art is we reach out to people who may be struggling. We artists are known to be struggling, but you know, if some of our art reaches other people, helps you have a better day, then go for it. If you like my art, buy some art. If that makes you happy, great. It also helps support the local economy because we are we're starting to do that. Well, we have everything that we need, but you know, we'll run out of things eventually, and we'll need to buy some new stuff. We're starting to look for local sources. So, yeah. We will help boost our local economy as much as we possibly can. And, you know, I've been known to trade art with friends that they have something that we want or need, and I have something they want or need in my studio. We'll absolutely get that trade going. This one's really pretty. No, she was just out. She peed.
Okay.
Husband's trying to be sneaky and let the foster dog out, but she was just out. Made sure that we had a outside potty break before we came into my studio. Oh, this is really stuck to to the paper towel too. You can tell when I was impatient. There we go. Impatient for these to dry. Put them on the paper towels a little wet and they get stuck. Nope, that one's not gonna work. A little too narrow, just a hair. I think I'm at the end of my pile. Big pile. Yeah, at the end of my pile. So, let me turn this camera back around on me. Hello. Faye says, you are 10,000% ab fab, sweet darling. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. So, we're going to let those dry overnight. She says 68% of $1 stays in the community that it's spent in. Only 40-ish% of $1 spent at a big box store stays in the community. Her numbers may be off a little bit on that because that statistic was from 2019. That is wonderful information. So thank you for that. So yeah, if anybody local or here in the continental U.S. wants to trade art with me, let me know. Or fruit and veg from your garden that you have too much of, and I have too much art. So, you know, let's get together and support each other and help each other out. And yeah, let's rely on our communities and our friends and our families and our loved ones, because that's all we have in the end, really. So, wow, that's kind of a bummer of a statement. But it's also a beautiful thing. You know, I know who I can rely on. Oh, I see Steve is here. Hey, Steve. So I know who I can rely on. And it's a lot of you who are following me. So thank you for that. I appreciate your love and support, and that you love my art. So I think that's going to do it for me tonight. I know we weren't on for too terribly long. Oh, we were on longer than I thought we were. Yay. Fantastic. So I'm going to go have some dinner and chat with my hubby, pet our foster dog, feed her some dinner later, pet our cat, make sure she knows she's still loved, even though there's a dog in the house again. And yeah, join me next time right here on Sunday, Wednesday live on Chaos and Order, Art by Susan Holt on Facebook. That is me. And I might work on some of those, or I might have those done by then. Don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Faye, thank you for your comments tonight. And I will see you 5 p.m. Arizona time next week on Sunday, Wednesday Live. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and an artful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone. Thanks.